Yeah, class, good morning. Please, sorry for coming a bit late. It's due to network. Please, if you can hear me clearly, I would like you to signify if you can hear me clearly, please. While waiting for class members to join the lecture, yeah, class, good morning. Yeah, welcome to today's class. Uh, Today we'll be looking at the concept of leadership. The concept of leadership. I am very sure that most of us are already familiar with the concept of leadership. Um, Leadership generally, in its simplest form, implies to lead, to guide, to inspire, to manage a group, teams, etc. Leaders have significant impacts on their members. And in today's diverse and rapidly evolving work environments, we need to understand the concept of leadership. Leadership, in its simplest form, like I said earlier on, has been defined by several scholars. But what is mostly important is to understand that the concept of leadership involves leading people. Leadership, therefore, can be defined as the ability of an individual, group, or an organization to influence, to direct, and to guide other individuals, teams, or organization. But leadership is a contested term. People, you know, contest what should be the definition of leadership. Over the years, various scholars have been able to define leadership. In the works of P.K. Saxena, he said that leadership is a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humanness, courage, and discipline. And reliance on intelligence alone often results in rebelliousness. In the works of Niccolo Machiavelli, The Prince, the book was written in the early 16th century. It provided a manual for rulers, leaders, to acquire royal authority and found a lasting regime. So, in a nutshell, leadership is a very complex, elusive quality, and it is fundamental to the success of any collective endeavor. It transcends mere authority, and it at the same time encompasses the ability to inspire, to guide, and empower others towards a common goal. Uh, Effective leadership, especially in this part of the world that you and I belong to, requires a delicate of balanced vision, strategic thinking. This implies that you have to strategize. It equally involves interpersonal skills. Because in our everyday lives, having great sense of interpersonal communication is very important. A leader anywhere in the world must possess the capability to articulate a clear and compelling vision. A clear and what? Compelling vision. Because you'll be the one to provide a roadmap for actions that may be taken in the future. So, simultaneously, every leader must be able to adopt certain complex analysis of every situation they find themselves. And in this situation, you should be able to identify opportunities and at the same time formulate effective leadership strategies for the betterment of those you lead. Therefore, strong leadership necessitates empathy, communication, and the ability to foster collaboration and trust among team members. Every leader who cultivates the habits I've mentioned earlier on will definitely be able to create a positive and productive environment for those they lead, guide, and influence. At the same time, they will also be able to motivate individuals or people they lead to contribute their best efforts so they can be able to achieve a shared objective. So, leadership is not all about personal aggrandizement, but about serving the greater good and enabling others to reach their full potentials. This is what the concept of leadership entails. I observed that David 805 is always online, Rita Cecilia always online, Alabede is always online, Ahmed always, Fabumi always, Ojimba always, Israel, Abiba Ahmad, Princess, Victoria Ayomide, Michael, Abdul Quadri, Rufai Brand, Rita Success, then one Azua Jennifer Ahemen or something, Pamela Indubisi. These are people who are always very frequent in our class. Like I said the last time we met, we take cognizance of those who are always very present in class, and we also take cognizance of those who fail to respond anytime we call for lectures. So if you look at everything I've said as regards to the concept of leadership, you now try to relate it to what is obtainable here in Nigeria. Our leaders, do they have the quality to lead? If they do, how efficient, how adequate is their representation? We've had various leaders in Nigeria over the years, but despite that, we see continue to clamor for better leadership in Nigeria, it is sad that most Nigerian leaders do not have critical thinking. Most Nigerian leaders do not necessarily care about the lives of those they lead. But something is sacrosanct. At all times, everybody should be able to identify good leaders and bad leaders. Now, there are various leadership styles. For the sake of those who are just joining, what I said earlier on, I said leadership in its simplest form can be said or can be defined as the ability of an individual or group, an organization to influence, to guide other individuals, teams, or organizations to achieve a common goal. Jenny, I have not seen I've not seen, I think, please, if you can ask that question again. Jenny, I'm still trying to check out for your question. Okay. Jennifer says, sir, please, can you explain social perception again? I think you are taking us back. This we are done with. Maybe when we meet next time, I'll go back. I'll go back to that. While we wait for other people to join, now, well, let's go to what we call leadership styles. Leadership style. We have been able to define leadership as the ability to guide, to inspire, to control, to influence either individuals, excuse me, groups, organizations to achieve certain goals. But now, what are the various patterns that leadership takes? Leadership style simply refers to the unique ways or unique pattern that individuals, organizations, teams guide, inspire, and manage their followers. You know, significantly, you agree with me that when you lead well, there is always going to be a very significant outcome. And in today's diverse and rapidly evolving work environments, we all need to understand the different types of leadership styles and how essential some of these styles are for effective team management and achieving organizational goals. There is a foundation for leadership style, and leadership practices have evolved dramatically over the centuries. And the early models often emphasized authoritarian control, and this was dictated by hierarchy and tradition, which implies that in traditional communities, the concept of leadership comes with hierarchy and tradition. So, over time, leadership theories now expanded to include participative and transformational approaches, thereby reflecting a gradual shift in organizational structures and societal values. There are key elements that define every leadership styles. Key elements define leadership styles. Like I said, there are key elements. So please, can you comment on the definition of leadership style? I said leadership style simply, you know, refers to the unique ways, the special ways that individuals, group, team guide, inspire, and manage their teams. So, back to key elements that define leadership styles. Number one is communication. And we have said several times that the field of social psychology involves the analysis or the study of how group behavior influences individual behavior. Therefore, as you move with people, they must have impact in your life. Even those who lead you must also have impact in your life. And how do they make the impact? Excuse me. How do they make the impact? What are the elements that defines a good leader? Number one is communication. How leaders interact with their teams, whether through directive commands or collaborative discussions, matters a lot. It is very important that every leader must be able to communicate with his or her people. Communication matters. Number two is decision making. Whether decisions are centralized or shared among team members, there must be decision making. And number three is adaptability. Everybody must be able to fit into that team, organization. So, there are three key elements that I mentioned. Three. One is communication. Two is decision making. And three is adaptability. Let's now move to types of leadership styles. What are the various patterns that leaders use in leading their people? Number one is autocratic. Number one is what? Autocratic. Like I said earlier on, we have people who are always very frequent in class because there is never a time they are not frequent in class. I would like to mention their names again. Papizab is part of them. David is part of them. Alabede is part of them. Rita Cecilia is part of them. Sheye David is part of them. Ahmed Sali is part of them. Favor Ogaba is part of them. Jesse Ushe is part of them. Shaw FXS is part of them. Abdul Ganiu, Sarah Tusheu, Fabumi, Yakubu, Ojimba, Bartholomew, Israel, Emwesiri, Basirat, Chinaza, Amarachi, Don Okama, Jemima, Abiba Ahmed, Mercy Sunday, Ezra Patience, Princess 2, Remy, Kick Off with Osas, Unseen True, Lil Wise, Victoria, Chimamanda, Ayomide, Jeremiah, Michael, Mary Dacha, Abdul Quadri, Shalom Adeyemi, Rufai Brand, Abdullah Ramat Sanusi, Natalia Adediran, Michael Matthews, Susan Agbo, Ada Abutu, Miracle Abdul Kudus, Oluchi Tanko Fusion, and Simon. Well, we take cognizance of those who are very. Yeah, I like what Papizi is doing. It's actually putting the basic things I'm saying under the comment section, and I'll also be. I said key elements of leadership styles include communication, decision making, and adaptability. I just put that as well. Key elements of leadership, communication. The topic is leadership, but under leadership, we are looking at leadership, meaning leadership styles, theories, and leadership in Nigeria. So, I was explaining types of leadership style. And I said number one is autocratic. Number one type of leadership style is autocratic. Now we are trying to explain types of leadership style. Number one is autocratic. Autocratic leaders make decisions independently. Autocratic leaders, they make decisions independently. They don't care about members of the team. They don't care about those. They don't care about those they lead. They don't care about how you feel. The only thing they care about is how to have strict control over those they lead. I repeat, autocratic leaders make decisions independently. They don't care about you are. Autocratic leaders do not care about every other person in the group. What they are interested in is the fact that they want to exercise a very strict control over their team. They don't even care about how you feel. They just want to control you. And it has its advantage and disadvantage. One of the advantages of being an autocratic leader is that, one, it enables quick decision making in high pressure scenarios. There are situations where they don't have to wait for it, they just have to quickly take certain decisions. It also provides a clear instruction and expectations. You don't waste time. Once you know, Abdul Aziz said, so does this mean that autocratic leaders don't have anybody that check them? Yes, it's just like military regime. Yes, it's like military regime. You shout and shout and shout and shout, and nothing comes out of it. But autocracy or autocratic leadership has its own benefits also. Its own weakness. One of the weaknesses is that, one, it can stifle creativity and innovation. If you are not given chance to contribute, there will be no creativity in the group. There will be no innovation because the leader just wants to exercise a very strict control over you guys. Then it may lead to low team morale over time. It's just like you guys are in class and you are not given the opportunity to do certain things. There is no way it will not kill your morale. So good leadership boosts morale. Please, okay. It's when we are to take the attendance, Strike Kelly said, what is the second advantage? The second advantage is that it provides clear instructions and expectations. Clear instructions and expectations. Kelly, I hope you have gotten that. Then okay, leadership. If we ask some of you that what is the definition of democracy, the best you are going to tell us is that it is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Which simply means that individuals must be given the opportunity, the chance to be actively involved in decision making. You must be what? Actively involved in decision making. Democratic leadership style involve team members in decision making. The leader makes sure that everybody in the team is a contributor to the success of the team. And they try as much as possible to foster collaboration and inclusivity. Unseen True Crime said, sir, can we say North Korea as a country practices autocracy? Yes, of course. North Korea is not practicing democracy. North Korea is not practicing democracy. So we can say Kim Jong-un is an autocratic leader. Have you said, can autocratic leaders be impeached? Who will impeach them? It is only God that impeach autocratic leaders. Or maybe when you go into some form of collective behavior, riots, protests, and some other things like that. So autocratic leaders are not that easy to remove from office. Only democratic leaders are that easy to remove from office. So what are the advantages of being a democratic leader? Number one, it encourage it encourages innovation and diverse perspective. Innovations will come in where a leader say let's do it this way, then team members may say okay sir, if we do it this way we think it's going to be more appropriate than what you have suggested. That is what democratic leaders do. They don't just take decision on behalf of others. They equally give other people the chance, to exercise their rights. So number two, it boosts employee engagement and satisfaction. The second advantage of democratic leadership is that it boosts employee engagement and satisfaction. Um, Rufai asks, what strategy can Nigerian citizens apply to save themselves out of psychological terrorists the leaders are playing against them? You see, this is this is another complex issue that we have to look at when we get to collective behavior as a topic. We'll attend to that when we get to collective behavior as a topic. Then, what are the various weaknesses of democratic leadership? There is always a slower decision making process. Let's take an example of your class. There were times we decided to be democratic. We may say, okay, class, do we prefer online class or physical class? Some people will say, we are definitely going to think about it. But if I decide to be an autocratic leader, I will say, this is what I want, and this is what's going to take place at time. So, but it is not always like that, because democratic leadership is always, government can be defined as okay. Then what are the we are talking about the weaknesses of democratic leadership, and the number one weakness I said is that there is always a slower decision making. Everybody wants to contribute, so therefore we tend to waste much time trying to take decision. Advantages of democratic leadership: one, it encourages innovation and diverse perspective. Two, it boosts employee engagement and satisfaction. Then the disadvantages include: one, slower decision making, and two, potential for conflict if consensus is difficult to achieve. Then we have number three type of leadership style. We call this laissez-faire leadership. In this type of leadership style, I'm trying to say a lot of people are asking questions as regards to I'm trying to see if I can, be dropping some of the answers in the comment sections, because I've seen a lot of people are asking they're asking questions, and I'm trying to see if there is a way I can just be dropping there is any way I can be dropping the answers under the comment section. Someone said, what is the weakness too for democratic leadership, right? I said it's there is always a potential for conflicts if consensus is difficult to achieve. Um, Class, I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if I can be dropping answers in the comment section, like you guys are. Okay, I think there is an error somewhere. Class, I'm very sorry. Please just give me few few seconds, please. Yeah, I think now I can be dropping some of these. Okay, I am talking about the laissez-faire leadership, and what I'll do henceforth is to. Class, I'm very sorry. I'm trying to see if I can drop some of the. So, okay, I think we can go this way. So, class, let's be doing this way. Laissez-faire leaders takes hands-off approach. Therefore, they provide autonomy, for their group members. One of the strengths of Now I want to talk about the strengths. When I say the strengths, I equally mean the advantages of laissez-faire leadership. Excuse me. Strengths. Number one is that it empowers highly motivated and skilled team members. Every team member that is highly motivated and skilled are always empowered. Then it also promotes creativity and independent problem solving. Independent problem solving. Then the next thing is the weakness. the weakness of laissez-faire leadership style. Number one weakness is that there is lack of direction, and this can lead to reduced productivity in unmotivated teams. It may also result in disorganized workflows. Workflow will not be that okay. Class, I hope, are you okay now the way with the way I'm dropping the, please immediately I drop the answers, kindly sorry, the notes, just kindly confirm if you're seeing them, because there are certain things I can't see from my end. Then we also have the transformational leadership. Transformational leadership. From the word transform, from the word transform, transformational leadership inspire and motivate their team members so that they will be able to exceed every expectation as a result of focusing on vision of the group and innovation. That is transformational leadership. Then, what are the strengths of transformational leadership? I'm now referring to the advantages of transformational leadership. Number one, class, please, if you are with me, kindly signify. I know some people. So, number one strength of transformational leadership is that it drives long-term growth and change. Number two advantage or strength is that it builds or fosters a sense of purpose and commitment from group members. Then disadvantages of transformational leadership. Number one, there is a risk of burnout because of high expectation. People's expectations are very high. Therefore, there is always a burnout due to high expectation, and this also requires exceptional communication and skills, as the case may be. Now, we also have what we call traditional leadership style, but I don't think that's that. There is situational leadership there. There is charismatic and the like. So, in terms of leadership style, in conclusion, leadership styles play a pivotal role, in shaping team performance. It plays a very pivotal role in shaping team performance. And it is very essential that we understand the impact of leadership on the people. Leadership is very essential because nobody will feel good if leadership roles are not played adequately. We now move to theories of leadership. I wouldn't know, because now we are going to leadership theory. We all understand that a theory simply implies set of ideas that are used in explaining something. But we can therefore also say that sociological theories are set of ideas used in explaining social phenomena. Between now and the next 15 minutes, I have 121, between 120 and 130 people online. Please, you start dropping your attendance. The only thing I need is just the last three digits of the last digits of the number. Those in sociology, drop yourself as SOC. Just write only SOC. Yeah. And those in library and information science should put theirs with their departmental code as the. Now, we have said that leadership theories are the explanations of how and why certain people become leaders. They focus on the traits and behaviors that people can adopt to increase their leadership capabilities. Some of the top traits that leaders say are vital to good leadership include: 1, strong ethics and high moral standards; great self-organizational skills; efficient learning; nurturing growth in employees or group members; and fostering connections and social belongings. So, over the years, we have major leadership theories. And one of the most prominent theories of leadership is what we call behavioral theory of leadership. Behavioral theory of leadership. Behavioral theory of leadership. Behavioral leadership theory focuses on how leaders behave. The moment we requested for attendance, then the figure increased. The truth of the matter is, we know those who have been online from the beginning of the class because